We begin today the laws of Naira Psula, which means a young lady, virgin young lady. They include 5 mitzvahs, 3 positive and 2 negative, and they are that the seducer of a virgin maiden is fined, that the man who rapes a virgin maiden should marry her with her consent only, right? Of course, can't be without it. That the rapist should not divorce the woman he marries, as you know, you have no way out. Obviously, we're talking about it's a Jewish rapist, by the way, obviously, right? Can't be someone who's not Jewish. The wife of a man who issued a slanderous report about her should remain married to him forever. And the man who issues a slanderous report about his wife should not divorce her. Right? These mitzvahs are explained in the following chapters. Okay. Chapter 1, halacha 1. When a man seduces a virgin, he is fined 50 slime of pure silver. This is called kanas, a fine. The same applies if he rapes her. Seduces or rapes. Payment of the fine is one of the Torah's positive commandments, as it says in Devarim, Deuteronomy. The man who raped her must give the maiden's father 50 silver pieces. What is meant by seducer and what is meant by rapist? A seducer is one who enters into relations with a girl with her consent, right? It's with her consent, but he seduced her, right? A rapist is one who takes her by force. Whenever a man enters into relations with a woman in a field, we operate under the presumption that he raped her, right? And apply those laws unless witnesses testify that she entered in relations with him willingly. Whenever a man enters relations with a woman in a city, we operate on the presumption that she consented, because she did not cry out unless witnesses testify that she was raped. He pulled out a sword and told her, "If you cry out, I'll kill you." Right? Got it? 3. When a girl was seduced, does not want to marry the seducer, or her father does not want to give her the marriage to him, or the seducer does not want to marry her, he may pay the fine and depart. We do not force him to marry her. If they do desire to wed, right, and he marries her, he does not pay a fine. Instead, he writes the ksuba as it's written for other maidens. When, however, a woman who is raped or her father did not desire that she marry the rapist, they remember. No, we're talking when it says the father doesn't. It means that she's underage, right? If she's, as we'll learn, they have the prerogative, and in such instances, he must pay the fine and depart. If she and her father desire that the marriage take place, and he does not desire, we force him to marry her, aside from paying the fine. As it must take the maiden as his wife. This is a positive commandment. Even if the girl is lame, blind, and afflicted with leprosy, he is forced to marry her and may never take the initiative of divorcing her. As the above verse continues, he may not send her away as long as he lives. This is a negative commandment. Number 4, this girl is not granted exuba. Our sages require exuba so that the husband will not consider divorce as a frivolous matter. In this instance, it's unnecessary because a man cannot divorce his wife. Right? That's the whole point of ksuba. It's a rabbinic provision that the woman, not be dealt with lightly because, there's a compensation that would be made. Well, he can't divorce her. Halacha number 5, if the girl is raped, what's forbidden to him Even the prohibition stemmed from a positive commandment or from a shnia or forbidden by rabbinic prohibition, he should not marry her. Similarly, he discovers adulterous behavior on her part after he marries her, he should divorce her. These concepts are implied by the verse, he must take the girl as a wife, which our sage interpreted to mean she must be fit to be his wife. In other words, she can't be prohibited to him, meaning like, he marrying like, okay, his sister, right? Obviously, if that's who it was, or okay, when a high priest, a Kohen Gadol, rapes or seduces a virgin maiden, he should not marry her because he's commanded to marry a virgin. And at the time he marries this girl, she's not a virgin. If he marries this girl, he must divorce her. Although it is said with regard to a rapist, he may not send her away as long as he lives, since his prohibition is preceded by positive commandments, and it says he must take the girl as a wife. The Torah made the prohibition rectifiable by the observance of positive commandment. Thus, this is a negative commandment whose violation can be rectified by the observance of a positive commandment. Lashes are not given as a punishment for the violation of such a commandment unless one does not fulfill the positive commandment. This is explained in Hilchos and Hedron. Therefore, when a rapist violates this prohibition and divorces his wife, so the rapist violates the prohibition and divorces his wife. He's compelled to remarry her and is not punished by lashes. If, however, he divorces his divorcee dies, or is consecrated by another man because he divorced her before he remarries her, or if he is a priest who is forbidden to marry a divorcee, he should be punished by lashes. For he transgressed the negative commandment, designed to fulfill the positive commandment associated with it. So if you can rectify it, then you don't get lashes. But here he can't rectify it, so therefore he is of lashes. Excuse me. Okay, I need a coffee. Give me a moment, folks. Spit my legs.
I don't know if it's hot. It's hot every year. I'll make you a hot coffee.
No. Let me make you a hot coffee. It's good.
Green coffee in the morning. You don't need- I should give you the greens of coffee in the morning. You don't need the water or milk. Great.
Oh, Maine.
Oh, David's coffee. Okay. Okay.
Milk one? Everything in one?
So neither the rapist nor the seducer is liable to pay the fine unless he engages in relations in ordinary fashion. If there are relations observed by witnesses, now observed doesn't mean that they observe the actual relations. A warning is not necessary. At what age is the girl fit to be paid the fine? From the age of 3 till she reaches the age of Bagrus, 12 and a half. If a man engages in a relation with a girl less than 3 years old, the relation is not significant, for the hymen will grow back. If he engages in relations with her after she reaches the age of Bagrus, he is not fined, because it says a virgin maiden, thus excluding a girl who has reached maturity. The terms in the Torah of what it says. Why is it that way? No idea. I don't think there's an explanation. Whether or not a girl's father is alive, the fine must be paid. Because we're talking about here to girls till 12 and a half years old. So she's under her father's, she's being supported by her father, right? So that's why the fine goes to the father. The fine need not be paid because the relations with the following women, Geras, we said 12 and a half. At 12 and a half, because that's when she reaches full maturity or when she reaches full maturity. Full maturity doesn't mean, fully developed. I think it means the process. Oh, thank you. Hold on. Okay. What happened there? A girl dissolved the marriage through miyun. Miyun means when she's underage and she was given to marriage. She can just make a statement that she doesn't want to be married, and she doesn't need a get. An islandess is a woman who does not mature, but she's older, mentally incompetent girl. A deaf mute, a girl who is reputed to have conducted herself immodestly while young, concerning whom 2 witnesses testified that she sought sexual relations with them. A girl who is married and divorced, but is still a virgin maiden. Because she was consecrated, I guess. Right. When by contrast, the girl is divorced after merely being consecrated, the fine must be paid. Yeah, here it's mean married, but it wasn't consummated, the marriage. And she's entitled to it. If she's raped, if she's seduced, she's not entitled to the fine. Why is that? Because she consented. That's the difference. I don't know why. Okay, the following rules apply to regard to a convert girl, a captive, a Canadian and freed, a converted and redeemed at the age of 3, she is entitled to the fine. If she was more than 3, then she was converted, redeemed, or freed. She's not entitled to the fine since the relations that she engaged in at the time are significant. She is placed in the category of non-virgins. That's the halacha. The following rules apply when the virgin who was raped, seduced, or forbidden to the rapist or the seducer. If the prohibition was punishable by chorus, she was his sister, his aunt, need the state or the like, or she was forbidden by virtue of a negative commandment that does not involve chorus or execution. He is not liable for the fine if he was given a warning. Instead, he should be lashed. National is a person who is never punished by the same transgression by both lashes and monetary assessment. You don't get both. If he was not warned, since he is not given lashes, he should pay the fine. So it seems like lashes is preferred over the fine.
No?
When the girl raped was forbidden because of the positive commandment, or she was a shnia, or forbidden because of another rabbinic commandment, rapist is obligated to pay the fine whether he was warned against the transgression or not, because he is not punished by lashes. When a girl raped was forbidden because of a prohibition punishable by execution by the court, she was his daughter, his daughter-in-law, or the like, he's not liable for the fine, regardless of whether or not he received a warning. Right? Because he's liable for execution. That's why. You always get the harsher thing. So yeah, so the lashes is harsher, so you get the lashes over the fine, and execution obviously is harsher, right? A father raped his daughter. Huh?
You only do one of them, can't find them the next.
Right, exactly. So you get the more harsher one. This is derived from the verse. It states, if there will not be a fatal accident, he should be punished. Implied is that the fatal accident, no punishment should be levied. If there is a this applies to the woman who was killed unintentionally. The man did not intend to strike her, as it's written, if men strive and a woman receives a blow. This teaches that with regard to a fatal accident, Scripture did not differentiate between the intentional and unintentional to free him from monetary obligation. And it says, the person who fatally strikes an animal shall be reimburse its owner for it, and one who fatally strikes a man must die. Just as Scripture did not distinguish between unintentional action for killing an animal to make him liable for payment, so too not distinguish between intentional, unintentional action of killing a person to be free from financial obligation. I'm not going to go into that because it's lengthy, but if you got it, you got it. Not next time around. This law applies with regard to every transgression that's punishable by execution by the court. There is no financial obligation. Right, again, you get the more stringent thing, even though if there wasn't witnesses, so then you're not going to get execution. But since it's something that has the liability and possibility of execution, so you don't pay the fine. If the girl dies after she was seduced or raped, the seducer or the rapist is not liable for the fine, as implied by the verse. The man who raped her must give the maiden's father. Verse states to the father of the maiden and not the father of the dead maiden. I mean, right? Supplies when she died before the case came to court. Once, however, the case is heard before the court, the rapist is held liable. If proven guilty, even the maiden dies, the fine is given to the girl's heirs. Okay. Interesting halachas. All right, folks.
Thank
Have
you,
an
Rav.
amazing day.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rabbi.